Planes are often considered the safest way to travel, but what happens when they vanish into thin air? From mind-blowing disappearances to unsolved aviation mysteries, these stories will leave you questioning what really happened. Today, we dive into some of the most intriguing and baffling plane disappearances in history. Make sure to watch until the end for the most unbelievable story of them all. The mysterious plane that landed after 37 years, Flight Pan Am 914. This story has captured the imagination of many, and it's one of the most bizarre aviation mysteries out there. The legend goes that Pan American Flight 914 took off from New York in 1955, bound for Miami, Florida, with 57 passengers and 6 crew members. However, the flight never arrived at its destination and was declared missing after it seemingly disappeared from radar. Despite extensive search, no wreckage was ever found, and the case was considered another unsolved aviation mystery. But then, something unbelievable allegedly happened in 1992, 37 years after its disappearance. According to the story, Flight 914 reappeared in the skies over Caracas, Venezuela, and safely landed at an airport. The air traffic controllers were baffled, as the flight number didn't match any in their system. When the pilot reportedly stepped out of the plane, he asked where they were and they said they were supposed to be in Miami. What's even stranger is that the passengers were still dressed in 1950s attire, completely unaware that 37 years had passed. As the story goes, before anyone could investigate further, the plane suddenly took off again and disappeared into thin air. No official explanation has ever been given, and some dismiss it as a fabricated tale. But to this day, the legend of Pan Am Flight 914 lingers, sparking countless theories. Was it a time travel anomaly, a government cover-up, or simply an urban legend that grew over time? Though many believe it's a hoax, the story has taken on a life of its own in the realm of aviation mysteries, drawing curiosity and fascination. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. In 2014, the world watched in disbelief as Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, carrying 239 passengers and crew, vanished without a trace. The flight, en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, lost contact with air traffic control just 38 minutes after takeoff. Despite an extensive international search involving numerous countries, the plane's main wreckage has never been found, and only a few fragments washed up on the distant shores. What makes the disappearance of MH370 so puzzling is the complete lack of communication from the pilots. Theories range from a possible hijacking to mechanical failure or even a deliberate act by the pilot, but none have been confirmed. Years later, the families of those on board are still searching for answers. Could the plane have been lost in the vast ocean, or is there something more sinister behind its disappearance? Flight 19, the Bermuda Triangle Mystery. December 5th, 1945. 5 US Navy Avenger torpedo bombers, known collectively as Flight 19, set out on a routine training mission from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Little did they know, this flight would become one of the most famous disappearances linked to the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. The flight, consisting of 14 men, encountered strange issues almost immediately after takeoff. Radio transmissions from the lead pilot became erratic, indicating that they had lost their bearings. Eventually, the planes disappeared from radar. Despite a massive search effort involving both sea and air crews, no trace of the aircraft or the men was ever found. As if that wasn't strange enough, a rescue plane sent to find them also vanished, adding to the enigma of the Bermuda Triangle. Some speculate that supernatural forces are at play in this region, while others argue that weather conditions or navigational errors were to blame. But to this day, Flight 19 remains one of the aviation's most baffling mysteries. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous aviators in history, attempted to become the first woman to fly around the world in 1937 with her navigator Fred Noonan. Earhart's Lockheed Electra took off on the final leg of their journey from Papua New Guinea, aiming to reach Howland Island in the Pacific, but the duo never arrived. Despite multiple distress signals and a massive search effort, Earhart's plane was never found, and her fate remains a mystery to this day. Over the years, many theories have emerged. Some suggest she ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean, while others believe she landed on an uninhabited island and lived as a castaway. There are even more far-fetched ideas, including claims that she was captured by the Japanese or assumed a new identity. But without definitive evidence, the truth behind Earhart's disappearance is still up for debate. The mystery of Flying Tiger Line Flight 739. Flying Tiger Line Flight 739 was a military transport aircraft carrying 93 US soldiers and 3 South Vietnamese passengers during the Vietnam War. On March 16, 1962, the plane was en route from California to Saigon, Vietnam, with refueling stops along the way. Somewhere over the Pacific Ocean, the plane simply disappeared from radar. Despite an extensive search covering over 200,000 square miles, no wreckage or debris was ever found. Witnesses claim to have seen a bright explosion in the sky, suggesting that the plane may have been sabotaged or destroyed mid-air. However, with no concrete evidence, the cause of the disappearance remains unknown. Was it an accident, sabotage, or something more mysterious? To this day, the fate of Flight 739 and those on board is a question that lingers in the minds of aviation experts and the families of the victims. The case of Stardust, STENDEC. On August 2, 1947, a British South American Airways flight known as Stardust was en route from Buenos Aires, Argentina to Santiago, Chile, when it disappeared over the Andes Mountains. The crew's final communication to air traffic control included the puzzling message STENDEC, which has never been deciphered. The plane vanished, and for over 15 years, there was no trace of Stardust or its 11 passengers and crew. In 1998, climbers in the Andes stumbled upon the wreckage of the plane, confirming that it had crashed into a glacier. However, the mystery of STENDEC still baffles aviation historians. Was it a code, a distress signal, or a simple miscommunication? The discovery of the wreckage brought some closure, but the strange final transmission continues to fuel speculations and intrigue. Pan American Flight 7, a Cold War mystery. In 1957, Pan American Flight 7 was making a trans-Pacific flight from San Francisco to Honolulu when it disappeared without warning. The aircraft, carrying 44 people, was found days later scattered across the Pacific Ocean. But here's where things get strange. The bodies recovered showed unusually high levels of carbon monoxide. What caused the poisonings and what led the plane to crash? Could it have been a malfunction or was a foul play involved? Given the Cold War era, some have speculated that the flight could have been caught in a military operation or even targeted deliberately. The case was never fully solved, leaving behind numerous unanswered questions and unsettling possibilities. From military missions to daring solo explorers, these plane disappearances remain among the most mysterious events in aviation history. They remind us that, despite the advances in technology and safety, the skies still hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. What do you think happened to these flights? Could they have been victims of unfortunate accidents, or is there a deeper mystery involved? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest upload. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.